Welcome to the MD cast, where things get a little bit straight, a little bit gay, a little bit bi, and even a little bit strange. I'm your host, Tyler.
That was perfect. Thank you.
So we're doing a little bit of a high and low episode today because me and Kyle are just drinking and Tyler has done double the amount of edibles as before. And we watched a not great movie.
I enjoyed it. But personally, I thought the ending was different because I remember I told you guys about the ending of the movie. Because we didn't actually plan on watching it at the time.
How did it originally end?
The ending I remember, do you know at near the ending where she's getting possessed and I'm God.
Yeah.
Probably because you got scared and ran over and turned the TV off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I remember is, it's like that kind of old filmy thing, what they were doing.
Yeah.
But she's laying down on a couch. And they're telling her, oh, yeah, 10, 9, 8, whatever, hypnosis shit. And as it goes like that, she, the whatever the thing is, starts talking through her, but she's slowly rising into the air. And instead of it getting distorted, it just gets brighter and brighter until it's just a white screen and it ends.
Oh.
Anyway, by the way, we watched The Fourth Kind.
Yeah, it was The Fourth Kind.
And we were thinking that, we were trying to deduce what the other kinds were, and then they said in the movie where it was the first kind is you see a UFO, and then the second kind is you see crop circles, and then the third kind is
evidence.
The
fourth kind is
you get abducted.
If you can't tell by our dismissive nature that we always have, that opens Google, fucking possess! The aliens are opening Google!
They opened Chrome, dude.
Anyway, if you could not tell by our flippant attitudes and blatant disregard for the source material, we were not very impressed by the movie.
Annihilation was better.
Yeah, but that's an unfair comparison.
Huh?
Okay, Tyler may have been impressed by the movie because it really tapped into his Hidden Leaf Village mentality.
In terms of being a horror suspense kind of deal,
Vaporeon is the most scary.
Both of them were the same for me. If anything, the fourth kind was scarier.
Yeah, as I said, to us, not to the viewers. The viewers are not allowed to see. But I think the movie...
The viewers, it's too scary for you. Don't watch.
It's too scary. It's your bedtime. Go to sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep. Actually, turn the video off. Dislike. Unsubscribe.
Dislike. Go to bed.
Don't listen to him.
Make sure you eat some breakfast tomorrow morning. Get up in time for school. Don't miss the bus.
Don't miss your short bus.
Yeah, don't miss your short bus, fucking retards.
Yep.
So it's an okay movie. It's got okay stuff in it. I like the ideas. I like things that are in it. It's just I really don't like the larger way it was shot, the way it was kind of composed, and I really don't like the acting. And I think the sound mixing is garbage because people whisper too much, and I think whispering is the act of Satan.
And Mila Jovovich didn't whip her titty out for this one either.
Miko Pobedic, Drop a Bitch is...
It was quite an evil resident.
Yeah. Resident of what?
Aliens.
Wasn't there something like a movie or whatever called Resident Alien?
It was actually called Resident Evil.
No!
Are you talking about Aliens in the Attic?
No.
I know that one. That was a kid's movie.
It was. Ashley Tisdale was in it.
I think you're thinking of Paul.
No.
What about E.T.?
The one where Seth Rogen voices the alien.
Can we watch that movie?
Paul?
Yeah.
Man, I remember watching that movie and falling asleep 3 times through it.
I remember never having watched that movie.
I'm sure I would like it now, but young me did not like it.
No.
Just like old us didn't enjoy the fourth kind.
And we still don't.
Yeah.
I feel like if we were gonna compare it to Annihilation, I would say like the old footage stuff was scarier than actual Annihilation.
Yeah,
So like the only true scary thing about Annihilation was the bear. He got
Annihilation was scary in an intrigue and grander meaning kind of way.
Annihilation was one of those ones where I was thinking about it when I was going to bed. I don't think I'm going to be thinking about the fourth kind.
Well, let's put it in this perspective. We were high when watching that movie. If we were high watching the fourth kind, I feel like it would have
intrigued
been
me enough
different.
to start reading the series.
I watched Annihilation completely sober one time, so
Fair enough.
but as I
And
was
I
also
went back
going
and
to say,
watched a lot of it as well, sober as well.
I will also say this is a terribly unfair comparison because these are completely different kinds of movies.
They are both sci-fi horror.
Annihilation is like more sci-fi
It's a
light
mental
horror,
game.
where Fourth Kind is more horror, less sci-fi.
The thing is, too, I feel like found footage is just at a frightening disadvantage. Because you just see the drop in quality, for one, as well as what I would like to bring back that you said too, Kyle. The sound quality fucking sucked.
Yeah, it was garbage, but
Well, you gotta
That's
realize it was footage from
well,
2000. That shit wasn't good at all.
Tyler, the footage isn't real. It's a fake movie.
Well, they had to make.
they
it
were
seem
trying to make it
convincing.
authentic, and I get that. But like, that's the thing I also said. I wish they would have just either made it like a found footage thing, or just stuck to it being a standard movie composition.
Yeah, it was dumb that they did the side by
didn't-
side.
I didn't like the split
It would have
shots. I
actually
didn't
been
like
way
it.
more scary if it was done in the, like, not side-by-side way.
Yeah.
Or, like, if you saw
I
the
would've-
possession in, like, 4K quality, that would have been probably a bit more
I'm
scary.
fine with it being like with it getting.
I would've
static,
loved
yeah,
it, like,
wish it was
where-
better.
It would transition into the found footage, but then go back to normal because it is a movie, a high budget movie.
Playing it side by side really did piss me off.
It really did. I hated those split scenes.
Because like the audio would mix, but like the audio from the found footage would always peak and just cover over the.
It really
actual
was
guy.
like they were trying to do it like Requiem for a Dream, where they were showing multiple scenes at different times, and it was
But
like
they
it
were
was to
all the same
overwhelm
scene.
you, but it was the same scene, just one like
And-
found footage one beside it, and then you had the audio lapping over each other, and it was like they were saying the same things, but it was like this is hard to follow.
What it felt like they were trying to do the like. It felt like they were trying to do the found footage. This is based on true events kind of thing,
Mhm.
and they were also trying to do a straightforward like movie recreation kind of thing. But they couldn't commit to either, so both of them sucked. Because, like, personally,
dividing by zero.
like I get why they're like, oh yeah, we used we use actors to act out these parts when the found footage thing has the air quotes real people, but I hated that.
Mhm.
I wish they would just play off one or the other and play them to their strengths. But that also transitions into an interesting thing. Have you ever noticed that no one fucking uses found footage in like any kind of smart way?
Yeah.
Like,
what is a smart way?
because the thing about found footage is that it's supposed to be footage as taken from, a camera or some or footage as taken on the device that it is. But like you'll see people like a found footage movie, and like characters will do absolutely stupid things with their fucking cameras. The cameras will not be they don't use them to their strength. You'll see like sometimes they basically try to just make it a perfectly standard camera shot despite being found footage, and it just kind of makes it seem so like hollow, like it is like this was made by a set designer or like a fucking a director,
Where it
rather
doesn't
than
actually seem like authentic to the
it doesn't
situation.
seem like anyone would actually do that with their camera.
Well, the therapist one seemed kind of accurate because that's what they would do. They
that one it did. I'm talking about movies in general.
Oh,
Calling back to
general
like
found footage
one of the first ones that started it, I think that the
Blair
first
Witch.
Blair Witch did have a lot to give when it came to the found footage type thing. But then again, you still see a lot of those same kind of scenes in it.
Well, and that's the thing, right? At least with Blair Witch, you could say that was like one of the earliest examples of it, if not the first. So you can give it a lot of leeway in how it was presented. But the thing is, so many things have tried to ape off that style.
Paranormal Activity is a good one.
Paranormal Activity. And even Paranormal Activity, it at least has the benefit of them being like, okay, we're literally setting up cameras in rooms, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to like get as much coverage as possible, so that makes sense. But then you see other things like that one fucking movie where it's the two kids going to stay at their grandparents' house.
Oh yeah, I can't remember what that was fucking called though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't like the grandma try to cook them or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, and the
where
grandfather
there was that
had the
scene in
shotgun, and
yeah,
he was like, "I'm just cleaning it."
just cleaning it. Yeah,
Wasn't it Bad Grandpa?
no,
Oh.
that's not bad.
You're funny.
I was hoping
kind
one
of.
of you would get it because that's an actual movie.
I know that's an actual movie, but it's not the movie. But that movie also, that movie did, that movie tried to do found footage thing where everything was found footage, but it also just didn't make sense, like, with all of the stuff they were doing with the cameras, with how they were using the cameras, where they were putting them, how they were constantly recording. It's like, why would you probably could have made this better if you got rid of the found footage element. So why don't you use found footage, like, make the most, like...
The Visit?
The Visit.
By M. Night Shyamalan?
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Was that by M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
Wow, that's almost completely forgotten, probably.
Probably.
It's from 2015.
Not worth remembering, really.
Yeah.
But, and it's like, you know, I don't think it's a good movie, but, what was it? Unfriended or whatever? The one where it's like...
Oh, yeah, it was the
the
camcorder
Skype
one.
call
Yeah,
one?
the one
the
where
Skype
everyone's
call.
in a Skype call.
Yeah.
And that's at least interesting because they actually did use found footage to, like, in a smart way, because it was entirely on the screen. Like, the entire footage was the screen that it was being recorded on.
Yeah.
So that's at least, for all of the movie's faults, it's at least a clever idea in how they use that camera.
That's gotta make you think, because, like, who's behind the screen? Do they actually ever show?
Yeah.
The people.
Yeah, because it was the main character, screen, the main woman. Because she had her webcam on, so you see her in the webcam as well.
So I was thinking, like, what if... Because I've never seen the movie, but I've actually wanted to watch it, but, like, what if the main screen, like, you think, is the woman, but it's actually not, but it's, like, the rando, or, like, the friend that's, like, trying to kill them or whatever screen instead?
It's not, but...
Like, would that have made the movie cooler?
That would have been an interesting...
What if we are the killers, and we are the ones that are watching the screen, and we're the ones making them do it?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so...
And the thing is...
but like think of like the plot twist at the end, like it is the
it
person's
shows
screen,
it shows the
and it just like slowly shifts over,
it
and
turns
it's
the
and it's just
murder, man.
just the guy standing there.
it's
Yeah,
just
of course, the
it's
person
just a
killing
guy
him
with
was a
Cheeto
ghost,
dust
so-
all
Yeah.
over his mouth.
But like
But-
no, it shows the empty room, door creaks open, blood pile, and just a ghost right for the screen.
And then like
Not bad.
one pixel cut of just Pro Jared with his dick out.
Yes.
Yeah. One frame.
One frame.
But that also technically it wouldn't have worked. An interesting idea, but it technically wouldn't have worked because one of the things they did in that movie is because it was the main character's screen. If she like tabbed out of the Skype call to like fuck with something on her computer, you'd see her do it. So like there's a bit where music starts playing on her computer, so she tabs into like iTunes or whatever and tries to like mute it.
Oh, okay.
But
because like the idea I gave is like generic horror movie type.
yeah,
of
generic
stuff.
horror movie stuff.
But
There
it would have been
was-
so cool.
There was another movie. It might even have been Unfriended too, if that's even a thing. But it was another movie where it also did that same thing.
Unfriended 2 would have been blocked.
Yeah. It would have been. But
why'd you block me, Jerry?
it actually opens really interesting because it opens with someone like it opens with the computer turning on because the entire thing is a computer screen, and the computer turns on and is password screen, and someone enters the password, fails, enters the password, fails, enters password, fails, and then finally gets in. And then the movie happens. And the point of that movie, spoilers for this movie that I'm not even sure if this is the same movie, but in this movie the point was that the main character stole the computer, or like found it, and that's why he couldn't get in at first, because he was trying to find his way through the password.
Whoa.
But the whole point is that it was like set up by like deep web, like red room stuff, where he basically gets him and his friends get put into like murder shit, and you're seeing like deep web like street cam footage, like when he leaves the house, and you see through the monitor like people are watching him and like betting on how he's gonna die or get murdered.
That just reminds me of like
that was also interesting.
This movie was decent in my books, but a Taylor Lautner movie called Abduction, or
Abducted,
whatever.
Abducting.
But basically, the whole premise of the movie is like this guy was adopted into a family. Like, he doesn't know what his history is or anything. But one night, him and his girlfriend do a like, oh, they say if you put your picture in this one website, it'll tell you who your parents are, or like who you look like. But it turns out the site was a trick all along, and apparently his parents were like secret agents or some shit, and like they were trying to hunt the kid so they can get to the parents, kind of deal.
What the fuck?
And they found him through that website because, like, oh, he looked like him and her, but him and her are meant to be just complete rando people. But it turns out they were secret agents.
Now that got me thinking about something. What if you and your missus were like gonna be making a sex tape, and then like it's like, let's spice things up and we'll record it this time, and then like you have the camera set up, and then in the background, like when you're like getting it on, somebody comes over and like grabs the camera and like turns it to selfie, and they're just like. And they're just like looking at the camera lens, and then they put it back to like normal where it was, and then they walk away.
Wouldn't I have seen them?
No, you're fucking.
The whole. I thought the whole premise was like, it's a ghost type shit.
If it's a ghost, okay. But the thing is, why? Because like, if you set up a camera to film your own sex tape, it has to be in the fucking room. Look, maybe this is my turbo virgin energies, but like, tell me, Mr. Big Shot over here, when you're fucking, does the world fade out? Would you not notice someone walk into the room?
He's very quiet.
He has to be fucking silent and like. No presence.
No, he doesn't have to be silent. He just has to be quieter than you clapping cheeks.
Because it can get loud.
I imagine, but like, because the problem, like, you're not gonna like put the camera super far away from you. You know what I'm saying?
No, you have multiple cameras set up. This is just the furthest one.
This is listen. You're getting so heated about this. This is Eric being Eric. This is Eric being a goofball.
A goofball. A total fucking goober. An absolute gobblenose.
But you fell right into my trap.
Exactly. This is your fault.
I am getting... But I want to know... When the fuck did you get there, Jennifer Lopez?
I don't know. I actually didn't hang that one up.
Oh, it's Ghost. Wait, it's Ghost Jennifer Lopez.
But that's why I said the whole ghost thing, because I've actually like seen that type of shit in horror movies
where they film a sex tape.
Not the whole sex tape thing, but like the camera is in like was watching the room, but suddenly is turned towards the ghost.
How funny would it be if in like, let's say they turn it to like 25% of porn, where like now by law, 25% of porn, the director has to turn the camera on himself for like just 10 seconds of filming, and just like...
Actually...
He's just like eating a sub or something, or he's just...
he's having the fucking...
Bro, I would do that.
It'd be like that one bit of the dude filming the porno, and he like holds out the eclair to the dude.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, want a bite?
He's just recording. You just see a sub like, hey man, take a bite.
Have some.
He's just fucking
But,
this girl.
Honest, I can
Like, it's
imagine-
getting deep, and then they turn the camera. I was like, you jerking off, huh? You fucking jerking off?
Yeah, fucking.
I'm with the boy.
You having a good time? Yeah, that's good.
Right, it's like right at the fucking the woman gets down on her fucking knees, and he's like, as he like shoots on her face, the camera turns around, and there's the whole like crew and the boom mic guy, and they all go, whoa!
We would like to thank you for tuning into this video. Now a word from our sponsor.
We just do a whole YouTuber outro.
But I can actually imagine the whole camera turning thing being an interesting thing in like a genuine thing to do in a horror movie. Like, you know, people they're like trying to make a sex tape or whatever, and they're fucking, and they turn and they notice that the camera that was facing them, like say it's like a camcorder with like the screen on the side.
Yeah.
Say the camera,
Or it's one of those ones that's designed to pick up motion.
maybe.
Yeah,
But, like-
and then like it
But
turns
then,
around.
they
you're
just-
entering, like,
they look-
CCTV. But
They
we're-
look to the side and they see that it has turned around. They're like,
Yeah.
"What the hell?" But the thing on the side, the little screen on the side is open,
Yeah.
and they see through the screen that there's someone in the other room, but they don't actually physically see him. And they're like, "What the fuck?" And then they get up and they grab the camera. It's like, "What?" And it kicks off their ghost adventure.
Bro, that'd probably scare the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, dude,
'Cause now
shit
I-
all over that bed.
I'd fucking pull out my
Not
phone
only
and
are
keep
you
the
dealing-
camera on at all times.
Not only are you dealing with a ghost, but you're dealing with a horny ghost.
Yeah,
The scariest of them all.
yeah. Horny ghosts. I've read enough hentais about those.
I've watched Scary Movie too.
My mother said the damnedest thing.
What did your mother say,
Yeah,
Kyle?
I want to know this segment.
My mother was talking about some movie, like schlocky garbage. Alright, I won't call it garbage. It's not out yet. But you know, there's one director does like disaster movie stuff like
Yeah.
2012 and Day of the Year. No, not Day of the Year So Still, but The Day After Tomorrow. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That director's making a new movie.
Oh no.
And my mom looks at it, and apparently it's like the moon is going to crash into the earth, and
What
she's
the
like,
fuck?
it looks totally stupid, and I kind of want to watch it. And I'm like, okay, yeah. She's like, you want to watch that with me when it comes out? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And she's like, and she's just mentioning stuff about it. We were talking about it, and she mentions like, and she just says offhandedly, you know, in the trailer there's also some like tentacles on the moon, so I don't know, maybe the moon's got some hentai addiction or something. I don't know. And I just look at her and I say, I don't want to hear you talk about hentai addictions. I don't want to hear you say hentai ever.
Did you confess your hentai addiction, Kyle?
That's
No.
actually a good segue to something as well.
It's just one of
God.
those things. You don't want to hear it, like, especially her specifically. I don't want to hear her talk about hentai. It feels wrong.
You go back up to your room. You just stare at your hentai folder. You just contemplate deleting it or not.
Because it's like this is the person who I have to like explain really dumb memes to, and it's like I'll explain like a fucking stupid like void TikTok meme, and she's like, I don't get it, like I don't.
So you just
I don't
have
get it.
Eric explain
And then
to
just
her that.
just randomly she's like, yeah.
Do you think having me
hentai.
explain anything to anybody would help?
It really
Maybe
would.
in this situation, only
But-
you can explain it.
What else did you have to say, dear pal Eric?
So I had this little segment that I thought up, and I'll kick it off. It's like, what new thing did you guys learn this week? Because we're always constantly
Don't
learning.
you fucking dare
But-
say it. Don't you fucking
No,
dare.
I'm not saying it. I asked my mom was talking because she's in the medical field, and she was talking about pap smears, and
What the fuck's a pap smear?
that's what I learned. I learned what a pap smear was. And like she was talking about it, but I was like, wait, I need you to preface something. What's a pap smear? And then I said, is that when you shit on a napkin? And she laughed at me. Because a pap smear is when you know that little like thing that looks like a curling iron, but they shove it inside the pussy and then it spreads it, and then you get the swabs in and they look
Yeah.
for like herpes and shit. That's what a pap smear is.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected at all.
What did you think a pap smear was?
a pap smear I thought was like maybe like something to do with your mouth or something.
Something that smears. That's why I went to shit.
Because like you hear girls talking about it all the time.
Yeah, girls they just go around and shit on napkins, dude.
Yeah.
Not that.
All over them. That's why you can't take a girl to dinner anymore.
Yep.
Like, oh, I need some extra napkins. Shit's on. No more dining in.
No more Fortnite.
No more Fortnite.
Well, this could kind of segue into one of the ideas I had.
Okay.
What did you learn this week, Tyler?
Yeah, it was something I could have potentially learned about Warhammer.
Oh.
So I watched a TikTok today, and it kind of really opened up my eyes to how dumb the orcs are. But like how brilliant they could be at some points.
Yeah.
Very rare moment that is. But is it, since you both are 40k nerds, Warhammer, do you think it is at all possible that the Emperor is still alive only because the orcs think he is?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Because like I actually had like a genuine thought, because like I think you guys told me like they feed the Emperor Psyker so he can like continuously live as a skeleton or whatever.
Yeah, the skeleton man.
But like, what if like obviously that can only do so much? But like, what if it is true that these orcs thinking
They
like,
believe that the Emperor cannot die,
Yeah,
so they just go on believing that he will refuse to die. Because that's how they actually brought back a bunch of one war boss, where it's like, this war boss can't die, so he came back to life after dying multiple times, and then after they see him die like 4 times, it's like, maybe he can die, and then he didn't come back.
like, do you think that's at all possible?
I think it's definitely possible.
It's all within the realm of possibility, but like, it's orc magic. I don't think they're gonna make that the catalyst of what 40k.
Or obviously not, but like
fate
it's an
rests
interesting.
on.
Theory
It's an
to
interesting
think.
theory.
It's like
and
on
an
the same
interesting
level
idea.
as Jar Jar Binks is a Sith Lord. They're never gonna confirm nor deny it.
They won't, but he is.
Yeah.
They won't, but he is.
But it's also kind of sad because they actually gave him a story after the 3rd movie.
Jar Jar Binks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes to a random planet, becomes a jester.
But
But
then he dies.
pretty much, he killed himself.
Nice.
No one thought he was actually funny.
Misa
so-
gonna do it this time.
Kyle, I want you to know that if I ever do kill myself, that's what I'm gonna say.
He's gonna record it. He's gonna Misa kill myself. Then after you fucking all hears the bang.
I'll be like crying in the camera and then like straight face, I'll like put the gun in my mouth. Misa gonna do it this time.
He fucking pulls the trigger, camera falls on the ground.
And
Then
then
it
it
suddenly
turns,
turns.
and there's a sex tape going on.
Okay, what would it be
I was
like
gonna
if that
say something
happened?
else.
Like you wake up and there's just a dead body in your room with a gun in its mouth after a fucking gunshot
I
goes.
feel like even during sex, you would hear a gunshot.
Yeah?
That'd be so funny.
The thing is,
Like you're balls deep and you just hear a gunshot and you just turn around. It's like, what the fuck? And then you watch the tape and the guy just walks over nonchalantly, like nods a couple times.
I feel like if I were like mid like fucking and I hear just a gunshot, I'd naturally go like on like action mode, like some shit's going down. I'd probably like jump up, grab my dick and say, "Come on, I'll fucking come on you." Just like, "Come out here, you bitch." And I find like a corpse, I'm like,
Corpse party.
corpse party.
alright, speaking of dicks,
Oh no.
do yours or do you know anyone's dick that actually curves?
No comment.
Like, which way?
Like, it curves up, it curves down, it curves left, it curves right.
Most of them have a natural, like, kind of banana-shaped curve when they go up. Or are you meaning like curving to the side?
Like, just, does your dick or someone you know's dick curves?
I mean, mine kind of goes off to the right a little bit.
That's left.
It's reverse.
Yeah, whatever.
He's on the out. He's facing us.
Well, whatever.
That's, even from his point of view, that's still left.
You're right. It is. That's fucked up, dude.
And I'm the high one, apparently. By the way, still hasn't hit.
Keep it.
I'm scared.
You know what? Maybe you're just you could be a powerful individual, a powerful elder.
Yeah.
It also could have been I did eat before coming here.
Yes.
I I was playing games.
What did you eat?
4 hot dogs.
Oh no.
Or hot doggo.
But listen, I was just sitting there playing games with a friend. I'm like, oh, I want to check the time. Guess what fucking time it is. 5:30. I was like, shit! I got hanging out with my friend today. So I literally rushed everything, bro.
You're just like, okay.
Basically, bro. And then I got to the point, I was like, what the fuck happened to 2 of my hot dogs?
That's just how you eat.
Listen, I normally eat slowly. But, like, in that moment, when I was eating the hot dogs, I was in a rush. So I literally thought, like, what the fuck happened to 2 of my hot dogs?
It was the heat of the moment.
Yep.
But, like, to add on to it, say a guy is, like, dick curves to the...
Okay, the dicks, not the hot dogs.
Yeah.
Say he does curve to the right.
Yeah.
Do you think he has to, like, stand at an angle?
God, I hope not, because that's gonna cause problems for me.
Because, like, think about it. Like, as he's, like, straight... Okay, say he's straight on, and he's fucking the poo tank.
I feel like you got some leeway.
I feel like it's just mainly rubbing up the right side.
No, not
like,
really.
Would the girl feel the difference?
I don't think so. Because, like, it may curve naturally, but, like, you can just stand at the regular angle and...
But that's like going in like that. That's
No,
weird.
Not really.
But the thing is, like, because the thing is...
It's a swivel.
Your dick is not...
It's not a swivel.
It's not... No, it's not a swivel, but, like, it's got some, like, direction in which way it can go. It's not standard this way.
Like, and the thing is, right, your dick is not a tungsten rod, you know? It's not like...
No.
It's not like you're gonna stick it in, it's like nothing can fucking move it, where it's just gonna go... BAM! You, like, it's probably going to get, like, slightly more directed and course-corrected.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but I just thought it would be really funny to think that.
Now...
Like, think the guy's fucking...
However, pissing...
What...
Pissing is different.
What, well, yeah, it is, but, what you might want to, because, you know, when you attempt to, like, actually, like, impregnate something, because this is a total fucking tangent, because when you attempt to impregnate something, it doesn't always work.
Like a Pokemon.
Because, you know, you gotta get in the right place, and it's gotta, like, fertilize the egg or whatever. Shut up. But, like, maybe if it was, like, if the head was angled, it might be, like, harder to get it, like, where it needs to be to actually fertilize the egg, so it might not work as often. But I'm not a
fucking overheat.
I'm not a doctor.
I feel like it's
so
one
I
of
don't
those
know.
things where, like, I'm sure it would make a difference, but it's so slight of one where
like,
it's like it wouldn't quite matter.
Like,
Yeah.
I've watched porn. And
Crazy.
Wow.
And, like, I've seen some curved dicks.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it just... I in my mind, when I first thought of it, like, oh man, when this guy's gonna fuck a girl, he's gonna have to, like, stand to the right a little bit and just go, woo, 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 because it's curved.
Well,
Maybe that's why they invented those positions where you're like sideways and all that.
If your dick, like, curves up, it's perfect for that.
I just...
Eric's trying to rationalize it.
No,
He
I'm not
can't.
even trying to rationalize it. There's just leeway. Like, you can change the course correction. It's not going to be that fucking different.
Yeah, it's not like a fucking you're not
But,
breaking ironclad rules here.
No, but, like, imagine, like, your dick is, like, curved like this.
Then you just grab the base of it and just move it slightly, and then when it's in. That's all it takes.
I know. But I'm just saying it would be funny if, say, their dick is curved like that, they're just standing off to the right a little bit, so they gotta, like, ooh.
It would have to be unnaturally curved then.
Who knows what's natural when it comes
Oh,
You know
you know what?
you know
You're
what
thinking
is-
of it wrong, because it'd be funnier if like he pulls out
You
and
know-
he goes to come on her face, but he's got to like angle himself.
Exactly.
You know what would be even funnier than that, though, that is an actual thing? With some people, their dicks, like, the last place to get hard is the middle, where it will be like base, tip, and then middle, so it looks like a fucking balloon.
That's not a common occurrence?
You have that?
No, I'm memeing.
Okay.
That's funny. Bro, that'd be so fucking weird, bro. That'd be like some fucking nunchucks.
That reminds me of that one video of the dude who's like girls like fucking bouncing up and down on him or whatever.
And his dick just
you
snaps?
just see his dick just like fold, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
How do you break a muscle?
It's not a muscle.
What is it?
It's not a muscle. It's not like your tongue.
Because
The dick is more like
those.
It's more like a sphincter. It is a tube that fills up with blood. That is all it is. I will fight tooth and nail because a dick is not a muscle. And everyone's like, but I can make it flex. No, you're flexing different parts of your sphincter to make it to go up and down.
Yeah, actually, like,
You're
you know,
pumping
you flex
more
your
blood
dick
into it.
and you
Listen
fucking-
here.
Your butthole
Yeah,
fucker.
I just sit there every day flexing my dick like, yeah.
No, you don't do the thing where it's like boom boom, you know?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I just find it really funny the way Tyler said that you know you're just flexing your dick. Like, yeah, I sit there just flexing my dick because I can.
Listen.
The dick is not a muscle.
I was watching a TikTok,
Oh no.
and like the lady said, like, oh yeah, do you guys not notice when they try and make their dick move, they pucker their asshole? I was like, wait a minute, is this true? So I did it myself.
It's true. As well as anytime you're yelling, your asshole's puckering too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, that's scary.
So that's one thing that you can remember anytime somebody's yelling at you or angry. Every
Your
time they're
asshole
yelling
tight,
at you,
boy.
they're puckering their ass.
Hey, loosen that asshole, boy. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Stop screaming now, boy.
Come on, you got a fucking rod up your ass, man. Chill out.
Yeah, bro.
So if I'm ever doing anal to a girl,
Yo, lower that voice. You're gonna snap that stick up your ass.
I just give her the biggest 5-star on the back. And
then
hope she fucking
and
screams.
you kill her.
It's fucked up.
I know, that's the whole point.
All right, Tyler, I got something for you.
Alright, what's
Right.
up?
You're at Walmart.
Okay.
You're walking around. You're looking for Joe Louis and shit.
Hell
Like
yeah.
you're in the snack aisle, and then you stray a little closer to like the electronic section. You're seeing all the multiple TVs all playing like How to Train Your Dragon 3 and shit,
Yeah.
like the curved ones and everything, the flat screens. And you're just kind of going around. You're looking at the game section. You're looking at like what exclusives there are for the Xbox One. You go around the Switch station. Then you go over to like PlayStation. You see the PlayStation 5 one, and you're like, yeah, I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, but it's nice to dream. And then you get to the bargain bin of all the DVDs. And you just kind of start sifting through it. And like within seconds you're just sucked in. Like you're just looking through all the different DVDs. Like you're seeing the Smurfs movie 2. You're seeing the different like 4 movies in one box sets. And then you come across it. You see it at the bottom of the box. You're sifting through multiple different Godfathers, like all of the different ones, and you finally grab it. You have your hands on it. You hold it up to the sky, and the light illuminates it, and you see it. Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2, Roderick Rules on Blu-ray. What do you do?
What do you do?
I thought he was actually going to say like a funny movie. I don't know what that movie is.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, you never watched the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies? I remember when I was
The first one.
when I was in grade 6, we watched it at Christmas time, and a girl burnt herself with hot chocolate, and the cup she was carrying was mine.
Oh, do you remember when the lady in our grade 8 class burned that like muffin or cookie? And that's
The
all
cookie.
we could smell for like a fucking month.
Yeah. The place smelled like burnt cookie.
That was funny.
And our friend would not let her live it down.
That's true.
So she cut him, and now he's dead.
Yeah. Poor man.
He killed himself during the sex tape.
Yeah.
He watched his teacher and his other student fuck.
Dreadful. He was jealous.
Did you know that the Honey Boo Boo...
I don't want to hear the
Honey Boo Boo's 16, and then she's dating a 20-year-old.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
He sent that to me on Insta. I was like, oh, I'm not actually shocked by this. But you know what would be more shocking? Finding out her story.
Huh?
Her, like, actual story.
Like
her growing up.
Oh.
It's kind of fucked up.
Rascal tipping.
Like, one of her older sisters got pregnant, like a teen mom type deal. Her mom is just fucked. Like, she was like a pageant kid, so you're gonna have all that trauma right there and then. Her father was a pedophile.
Ooh.
Diddled one of her sisters.
Damn.
Sugar Bear.
Was that his name?
I think so.
Yes. Sugar Bear.
He had no fucking teeth. He just had gums. Fucking disgusting. You know what's worse? You know what's worse? You know what probably fucking scarred her? Because it scars me to this fucking day? Her mom's toes. She actually had an accident where her toes were ran over by a fucking forklift.
And they popped.
And there's this one scene, I don't know why they fucking added to the show. They're at a pool, and she has her toes exposed. And you know what the fucking scene is? An ant crawling into her toenail.
Ugh.
I don't like this. I don't like Honey Boo Boo. I don't like talking
See?
about this. Tyler,
That scarred me!
Give us a ninjutsu to change the subject.
Kyle, you were talking about things that, like, scared you, and, like, if you were schizophrenic. And I think that would be a good...
You mean the things that do scare me because I'm
Yeah.
paranoid and a wreck of a human being?
I mean, me too, but...
Like, I do that. I do that every night.
Because
I'm sitting there, like, listening to the sound. Like, I'll be listening, and it's terrible because I'm listening to, like, a video that's, like, talking about something while I'm drawing something, or I'm listening to a song,
Yeah.
and there's an ever so slight sound in the background of it. And I just think it sounds like my house moving or someone in my house. And I'm just like, oh, and I pause it and I listen for a solid fucking 5 seconds until I'm like, okay, I probably am not dying tonight.
Maybe he stood still.
And you see, that's where my problems become a solution. Because anytime I hear something like that, I just say it's the rats.
You're so used to the rats. But, like, I agree with you, but you know what mine is?
What?
I have this is my room layout. Yeah. I have my bed here and my closet's here. So, like, as I'm just laying there in bed, like, I'll be, like, on my phone watching TikToks or some shit, and in the corner of my eye, like, I'll be, like, laying this way, like, towards the closet. Like, this is me laying in the closet right here. I swear I see something. Like, I see a fucking whole ass face, and I expect that closet to, like, burst right open, because I always keep the door closed.
When I was young, I always had the fucking, pareidolia. I had pretty bad fucking pareidolia with a lot of things.
What's that?
That's where you see your brain sees something unclear, and it automatically registers it as a face.
I thought you were just blind. So you just can't see overall?
Not yet. But no, like, because you see through the darkness, your eyes adjust, and then you see the weird shapes. And when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I shared a room with my brother. And even beyond that, when I got my own room, my room was kind of messy. So there were always things around. And I always had it real bad where I'd be seeing faces in all of them. I do it. It's less the case now. Because
are you sure? Because you talked to Shadow people a little bit ago.
Okay, look, they are a constant addition in my life.
The thing, I never really had that because, like, I didn't have a nightlight when I was growing up because I just slept in pitch darkness, and I still do.
I mean, yeah, same.
So I never had, like, the ability to see anything that could be out in the dark. I just couldn't see it.
But the whole point is your mind is making something in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's still dark out. Even, I have a window so some light comes in, but that's really just enough to, like, briefly illuminate some things and highlight things, which just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I have the same thing, but it's always when I'm about to go to sleep, my brain just starts quick drawing some fucking freaky ass faces for me to look at.
And that's always the thing that gets me. I'm always like sitting there like finally. It's because it's that brief moment where you're falling asleep but you're not asleep yet.
Yeah.
And then that's when like your brain starts firing stuff off, and like I hear something and I shoot up. I'm like, what? Who there?
What I do.
There. I think it was last night. Last night I was sitting there. I was lying in bed. And I look over to the side and I see something at my bookshelf. And this is kind of my process when I see something that, like, I'll stare at it for a bit. Because, you know, obviously I realize that there's probably nothing there. But I'll stare at it for a bit until I realize it's something else, or I realize what it is. And, like, discern the shapes.
Yeah.
I sit there staring at it. I can't discern the shapes. I can't figure out what it is. So I get up, I lean in, and I go, and I say, "What are you?" And I do that. I genuinely do that. Where if I see something and it's like, it persists after me staring at it, I'll vocalize. I'll be like, "What the hell?" or "What are you?" And then eventually, and then I'm like, okay, you know, I hear my own voice going on. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I figure things out, but other times it's like where, you know, I've like woken up from sleep and I'm having like minor hallucination. It's at times like that where I'm like, oh no. And then I actually have to like stand up and like properly wake up to some degree.
I don't like that because like whenever I go to sleep,
Me neither.
I switch over to my other side. My thought is if I look over my shoulder at all, there's just someone there, like, spooning me, basically, ready to fucking attack.
That was always my concern, because I often switch which side I'm sleeping on.
Yeah.
But it's always like, I always I'll sleep on one side, I'll hear a sound behind me, so I'll just like crane my head around and look behind me. But the one fear I often have is that I'm going to like close my eyes and then I'm going to open them and there's going to be a person standing above me with an axe.
What I've learned to do
is sleep.
I often do this, like, because like I can't go to sleep right away, so there's like a 5, maybe 10-minute period where I'm just like imagining shit in my head.
Man, it's only 5 to 10 minutes for you.
It depends on the night.
It takes me like 2 hours sometimes.
I always plan out before I go to sleep though, because like I'll be like, oh okay, I'll watch like an hour of TikTok, then around this time,
Holy fuck!
turn over and like just lay there.
Mm-hmm.
But I always like keep my eyes closed. I get comfy. I always daydream basically of stuff that would put me to sleep. But anyways,
You're like counting sheep and shit.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But in that like 5-minute grace period, all I see is spooky shit.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll get like a random pop up of like the Exorcist face and shit like that, or just pretending I feel a hand on my shoulder as if there's someone behind me type of shit. You know what I do? I shake my head. I
say no.
I literally just shake my head and let my mind go blank, and it all goes away.
The one recent thing that bothered me, because this is I can actually trace this one back. There was a dude I knew once. I think back in elementary. It might actually have been high school, but if it was high school, it was the early grades. And apparently, he mentioned I overheard him talking to the teacher about something, because I guess there was some event, and I think this is something that happened to him. It might have been something happened to someone he knew, and he was just recounting the story. But basically, the story was a neighbor had placed a camera by the window to take pictures of him or the person of this story while they sleep through their window.
That happened to somebody that I know too.
Yeah,
it could be the same person.
That when I first heard that fucked me up.
Stare at your window.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, you know, that always fucked me up. And I've always had this thought in the back of my head that, like, what if there's someone just like trying to like watch me through my window or like through the holes in the blinds or something. And there was a thing that happened. Very impractical now, especially because I'm not a fucking kid anymore. So who the fuck wants pictures of me, right? But
you never know.
I was sitting there, and it was maybe fucking 4 a.m. So it's like dark, sun's not up or anything. Because of the way my house is set up, the window on the front door, if a light shines through it, it can shine all the way to just out in front of my bedroom door. And but usually you can tell when a light does that because it's a car, so it has a kind of rhythm to it.
Yeah.
With how fast it goes by. This one night, I'm sitting there, insanely bright flash of light in an instant, and it goes away. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I think, oh, maybe it's just like lightning. It was not even raining. It was not storming at all. There was no.
What about if it was a high beam light car?
That's the thing. Like
he's driving down the street pretty quickly.
I reasoned out that it was probably just a quick moving car or something.
Because high beams get fucking bright,
they
man.
Really do.
I fucking hate people that
There's
drive
a
with high beams.
reason that you're not supposed to have them on when you're passing.
Or like high beams on
Jeeps.
No, not Jeeps. Obviously like higher up cars, but they also have the LED lights. Those things are for monsters. I know they're effective and everything and they're good for the earth, but LED lights are too bright at night, man.
Yeah. Because like you can clearly tell the two different light bulbs. Like one is more white, the other one's like more brownish.
One's fucking blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that moment, my classic paranoia sparked up. I'm like, is someone in my house taking like fucking flash photos?
You know what I hate? I have the same thing, but my window is like a complex. So like one of my biggest fears is like someone is gonna either like throw something through that window at any point during the day, or maybe someone's just gonna shoot through it.
Oh yeah,
like not like shoot with a gun, but like there could be like some degenerate kids who like, oh, look, I got this BB gun, or this new air rifle.
It's funny because I was talking to my mom because we have our own like security system. So like if even if something were to happen with a break-in or whatever, we'd at least know about it. And it's fun. I was talking to my mom about it because it was really funny, and she's like, oh, the security system helps. I'm like, I just tell her like, honestly, it doesn't help me sleep much more at night.
The security system can't unmurder you.
That too, and that's the thing. My mom said before, she's like, honestly, we have the security system in the hopes that like it'll scare people off. If the system went off, like actually went off at night, I don't know what I'd do. And I'm like, oh, I know what I'd do. I'd grab the nearest heavy object and I'd run out of the room screaming.
I'd pick up my sword.
I probably would. I just grab the heaviest object I can, run out, and yell violently, like, "Come out, motherfuckers!"
That reminds me of
gut statue. He just.
That reminds me of one video where like a bunch of people were like, if somebody broke into my house like this, I would just leave and they could take everything. Because what the guy did, he like, it was just so nonchalant but so violent at the same time, where he had a brick in his hand and he was just walking up to like, you know how some of those like front doors, they have glass on the front of them?
Yeah.
He just kind of like, just half like sluggishly threw the brick through it, and like the brick didn't go all the way, it went through, but like it didn't fully shatter the window, and then he just pushed his hands against the glass and the whole thing shattered, and then he just climbed through like there was nothing even in the way.
That's always the thing.
Like just, you hear like glass shatter and then you think, okay, maybe I got another minute before somebody's in the house. He was already in when the glass was breaking.
That's always the thing, I think, because like if someone breaks into my house, I can't just sit there and wait on it. I have to act on it. I'd probably get shot if it was in most cases, but like at the same time, it's like no one's breaking into my house unless they're either like deranged person who's like, I'll break into a random house and like kill someone, or unless they're desperate. You know, like like I gotta steal something, make some like money or something. And in those cases, it's either they're prepared enough and I come out and they fucking just shoot me, or I come out swinging and they're like, this is not worth it, and run. Like, that's my process.
I know with the sword in his hands, like...
They'd hear me before they fucking saw me, let me tell you.
Releasing your fucking battle cry, or just the
It'd
clap of your fucking
It'd be like those times, like, anytime I play D&D where, like, I enter fucking combat or whatever, and I give a fucking, like, violent speech, like, I'm gonna fucking skin ya! I'm gonna break your ankles, and I'm gonna throw you to the curb!
You see,
I would be scared of that.
That's the point.
I don't know if this is worse or not, but they would not hear me before they saw me.
That's probably the better option. The problem is, especially with how my house is set up, like, I have no way to, like, go about it sneakily. They'd probably hear me in some way, so I might as well go all out.
Yeah, that's where you just stand at your room door and just let out this mighty speech and...
I am Spartacus! But yeah.
My main thing, too, like, I don't really get afraid at night anymore. Because, like, all of the scariest things in my house don't bug me anymore. I have an army of spiders at my back.
You really do, bro. I'm just waiting for one to come down, bro.
I only feel irrational fear. Like, the fear and paranoia I feel, it's the kind of thing where even while I'm feeling it, I can just sit there and be like, this is totally irrational, and I really should not be feeling it because there's no point. And I'll wake up the next morning like, yeah, it was just stupid, whatever, and shrug it off. But in the moment,
You'll just do it the other night.
Yeah, I'll just do it the next night because it's irrational paranoia.
Yeah.
It's just me sitting there like, ugh. But regardless.
What?
Did you hear that Soulja Boy released a new revamped Crank That song?
No.
He said, "Hey, everybody, go check out my Spotify for the new like Crank That." It's a new revised one where they add another minute to the song.
Where he cranks it.
Yeah, but
what's the punchline, Eric?
the whole thing is he partnered up with Sprite, so it's just a Sprite ad that he put at the front of it, and then the song plays.
Okay.
Genius.
I thought you were reaching for a knife.
I was reaching to kill Eric.
I'm sorry, that one's not true.
I know.
I actually believed it, man.
Why?
Because I could see him doing that.
You see, that's why I went to Soulja Boy.
Yeah, because Soulja Boy would do that. He literally fucking made a shit-ass song about Rick and Morty just to be like, oh yeah, I'm the first rapper to mention Rick and Morty or make a whole song around them. Literally all he says throughout the whole song...
Who was the first rapper to rap about anal prolapse?
I hope none of them.
I don't know if anyone has.
Well, now's our chance.
We're not rappers.
I feel like Prolapse has to be in at least one rap song by now.
Call it pro raps.
Yeah.
Probably, but like... it'd be weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be.
Let's freestyle about Prolapse.
No.
Well, you wanted to be the first one, Tyler.
No, I didn't. That's what Kyle said.
Okay, well, let's freestyle about prolapses.
I would rather not.
Yeah,
I would strictly rather
sphincter
not.
extending, fucking anus descending. Ooh, got that prolapse. Blood is flowing. Extreme pain. I don't know how to rap.
I'm going
But
all
I got
out.
that prolapse.
Yeah.
I'm going all out. Walls, they fall out.
There's shit everywhere.
Hot pink color. Fucking.
It's gotten bad, man. You know what?
What?
my brain has trained me where, like, if I'm cruising around on the internet and I see something, just anything slightly pink come out of somebody else, my eyes go cross-eyed and my brain just makes me look away from the screen.
Why?
Because I'm just so used to seeing terrible things.
But what's wrong with pink?
Because it's prolapses or spreading or gaping or whatever. I'm tired of seeing it.
I've had similar
Kyle, I'm sorry, by the way.
What'd you do? Did he send you a prolapsed anus?
He has sent me many, many terrible things over the years.
Oh, I'm lucky I was spared.
I take it you're referring to the orb.
Yeah.
The orb?
The orb.
He drew the butthole monster. An orb covered in assholes.
Oh.
And he sent it to me.
I remember you said you were wanting to draw something like that.
It was hellish.
It was the first time in a while that, like, I felt like, you know, I have a normal... No, I have a No, not proud. I have a normal level of disgust anytime I'm drawing something because I'm drawing it and I hate it.
Naturally.
But that was one of the first times where it wasn't because it was me that was drawing it, but it was because of what I was drawing.
But, with the fucking just natural reactions to, like, images and shit, anytime I'm looking at things and I see brown or green, I scroll faster.
What's normally involved with green?
Raps.
Farts. Funny poop.
Big fart cloud. Because it's unreasonable what some people like to draw.
Oh.
I mean, I'm talking about what I see with real life.
I hate shit like that, man. Especially, I use the, the Nadeco bot on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can just type in fucking hentai bomb.
Yeah.
You get some fuck shit sometimes, bro.
Yeah, that's why I don't use random stuff.
Especially one of them is like old traditional Japanese art. So it'll be like the old Japanese, basically like that kind of art, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the classic historical.
It'll be him with a female's head in his hand, a bloody knife, and like different bits of her hung up, but she's naked, so it's considered hentai. I hate seeing that shit, bro.
I see everything.
I see it all.
I see everything.
This is the reason why I don't go on like fucking.
This is the reason.
4chan and shit like that.
Yeah.
It just seems to ruin you guys.
Every board has degraded.
Degraded?
That's maybe not a word.
Degradation.
Degradation. Degraded. Even like the simple adult boards, they've gone to hell.
You know what I don't like?
What?
Pussy.
When steam is used in, like, hentai.
Steam?
Yeah.
You mean like, all like heavy breathing and it's like the room is steamy?
I think he means like the game website.
When it's coming from the mouth, that's alright. But, like, when the whole scene is just, like, her revealing her pussy and it's just steam.
Steamy like you're in a fucking boiler room.
I kind of like it.
I don't.
I mainly like it when it's like coming out of the mouth or like the nose.
The mouth or nose, that's fine.
Do you know what I think of whenever I see that, like in the pictures or actual like hentai?
Yeah.
That shit stank.
Yeah. Stank is good. Stink is not.
You're not gonna justify stank, Eric.
No. Alright, go on a run, scratch your balls, and say you don't like it.
I'm gonna say I don't, Eric! Because it'll be sweaty as hell!
It's a good sweat. It's progress.
Progress sweats.
That's stank.
That doesn't mean it's gonna smell good.
It smells good to you.
No, it don't. You fucking freak.
It is a common occurrence, though, that girls do like that kind of stank.
The fucking musk.
Yeah, the musk.
Yeah, let me get that fucking dick
I
cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard.
That's why if you're
That's
gonna
one
go
of
on a
those-
date with a girl, you scrub everywhere except for your balls.
That's
No.
one of those things I've heard of in like cheesy like hentais and shit. But I always just presumed that's like this is unreliable information.
Cause like
It's real.
Cause like I seen one like it was so bad because it come from the mouth, the armpits, the poo-tang.
Okay,
And
well
just-
that's stink.
Yeah.
It's from the armpits. It's stink.
If it's from anywhere, it stink.
No, if it's from nose, it's steam.
Look, if that bitch got that stank, I'm drowning her in the tub.
One last fuck.
I never said I was fucking her while doing it. Tyler, you sick
Might
bastard.
as well.
Tyler, you sick fuck.
You're already in a sick situation, bro. What's a
But-
little extra?
Because now it's like murder rape rather than just murder.
My gym partner's a rapist.
But if you're gonna
Monkey.
if you're gonna murder, might as well go all out, right?
Tyler, you're just stacking on years and shame and blame.
You're going to
Look,
die.
I mean,
if
I have to
You know
stand
what?
in court
I'm just
and
gonna-
look her
I'm gonna
family
thread
in the eye.
I'm gonna thread the needle and say, if you're going for life, you might as well make it worth it. But like, I'm just gonna hop from fences so that I don't go against either of you. But can we please stop talking about this?
I'm just saying, if I gotta look her family in the eye, I'd rather say, yeah, I just murdered her rather than, yeah, I murder raped her. Alright. Hey, we got any topics? You had a second topic that was secret you wouldn't tell us?
Yeah, you wouldn't tell
I've
us the
already
other
mentioned
topic.
both of them.
What?
Oh.
Dreams.
Whoa.
I don't want to talk about the recent stream.
Okay, what if we put Tyler on a leash the next time we went to a convention and made him bark at female cosplayers?
That'd be pretty cool.
I'd kill myself.
No, you would bark at female cosplayers.
No, I'd kill myself.
We could get you to bark at all the hot, sexy Samus Arans.
Yes.
I had a dream where I had to play Frogger, but I was the frog.
Bro, I had this really weird long dream. I just felt like it was forever. We all know my dreamscape is whack.
Yeah.
Dreamscape.
This
Jesus!
This one was different, but it was also one I've seen before.
Kyle, keep drinking.
So it started with just us casually hanging out.
Nice.
Then we go to like a basically a vacation spot, like somewhere tropical,
San Juan Julio.
and we're just hanging out and stuff. Then suddenly the world's ending.
Okay. Similar to my dream, then.
Everyone's just vibing out, like no one cares. Oh, the world, blah blah blah. So everyone's just hanging out still. We're in the tropical place, and suddenly, I'm in a city. I'm Spider-Man, and I'm fighting someone.
Hell yeah. Who was your villain?
I think it might have been, it was someone green, so it might have been Hulk.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
The Hulkster.
But the fight would go on, but at some point I was like, man, fuck this. So I practically left the Spider-Man, but I became my own entity in my dream. And like I would just watch them continue.
You just out-of-body experienced yourself?
Yeah, and I just went on to a new spot. I was in a mall just hanging out with this girl, like getting food and shit, then suddenly I'm in a Mexican home and we're all group hugging. And I was apparently a cop's like assistant or something.
Hell yeah, your deputy Tyler.
Then it ended with me going downstairs, which led to like a whole UFC arena. And some guy was being a fucking jerk off, fucking trying to destroy the place. I was like, hey, you stop that.
Step into the ring, buddy.
And we fought. I killed him. And then I was really dragging him by the neck up the stairs to like show the people like, oh, this fucking jerk off was destroying your shit. Everyone just laughed and I woke up.
So, Tyler, I gotta ask you now, is it working?
It's well working.
The drugs.
A little bit.
A little bit.
It's not. It hasn't reached its peak yet. Maybe it won't. But like,
Maybe it won't.
Maybe it won't.
I do feel like sluggish. Time hasn't completely stopped.
Nice.
But it's almost there.
I had a dream that, like, the Taliban took over, but, like, it was the Wild West. And,
no.
I was like, you can't take over, and I pulled out my dual-wield revolvers, and I shot 3 of them in the chest. Like, I unloaded, like, all of my 12 bullets into them, and they just started bleeding, but they were still on their horsebacks, and they were like, your bullets do not work on us. And it's like, they did female recruitment, which was very strange. And they sent one of the lady Taliban after me, and like I threw my guns to the side, and she was like she trotted up to me, and then she got off her horse. But as soon as she wrapped her leg around the horse to jump off, like her feet were about to touch the ground, and then I sweeper kicked her. And like
thoughts.
Before her head hit the ground, my body wheeled around and I backhand punched her in the face.
The ultimate combo.
The fucking Jet Li cowboy.
And then I just I didn't even stand up. I just drifted back onto my feet. And then I punched the horse in the side of the head.
Gotta have it run away. Fucking her leg still caught in like the fucking tassels. Like she just runs away.
And then I Superman punched the other Taliban guy, but then the other one said something in their language. Yeah, in Talibanese, and then he shot me with an AK, and then I woke up.
Yeah. My dream also contained violence. I wasn't joking about the Frogger part, but that comes later.
Were you forced into a game?
Actually, yes. Kind of. No. Figure of speech. I was basically the Doomslayer.
Nice.
But it was just around the city. And here, a recurring area, a recurring location in my dreams is this deep, winding, like, townhouse complex, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's got this, like, winding parking lot where it branches off and it always goes deeper, and there's just so
it's
many
like a whole
buildings.
suburban area.
This massive place like that. And I'm sitting at a bus stop, and I see the demon portals open up in that parking lot. I say, I gotta deal with that. So I cross the street, and I start dealing with demons. I'm, like, asking for backup. No one's bringing backup. No one's helping me fight the demons. And eventually I run out of ammo. When there's, like, and the only one left is, like, the fucking spider mastermind from Doom. And I'm like, fuck. So I have to turn around and run away. And it's following me around. It's making little tiny spider boys.
I am the spider mastermind.
But they're all coming after me. And then I reach the street that I need to cross to get back to the bus stop. And it's filled with traffic. The traffic just going through. And I'm like, I cannot stop. I gotta cross the street. So I start running across the street, dodging cars. I'm like, haha, he will never follow me across these dangerous streets. And I get to the other side, and I turn around, I wait, and he's a massive metal mecha spider, so he just walks through it. I'm like, man, this sucks.
He steps directly on the lines above all the traffic.
That was my dream. I don't think I won, but I don't know for sure. We'll find out in the sequel, where I'm somewhere else not doing that.
Man, dreams suck, where, like, you'll have a really good one and you're hoping that another sequel will come up and they never do.
They happen all the time for me.
Alright, one of the classes, my elective that I'm enrolled in for class, I might have mentioned it on the podcast before, I don't know. It's all about occultism, divination, dream stuff. So we had to do some stuff where we write down our dreams and do some work based on them. Yes. One of the things we did is we had to share dreams in groups with people and then interpret them.
Oh, God.
Now, naturally, along with most of the things, obviously, I don't really look too deep into it. I write mad bullshit, make stuff up, hand it in, get my marks. But it was really funny to see people respond to my dream, because the dream I picked was the shopping cart one, which I believe I've told before. It was a fairly recent one. And I mentioned, like, oh yeah, I was with this person that I knew back in, like, grade 5, and all that. And people are trying to think of meaning for the dream. They're like, oh, you're with old friends and you're going down the thing, or like maybe this is the person you miss and wish to reconnect with. I'm like, man, if only I hated that person. You don't know me.
That's the other thing that I just don't get about occultism. I just don't get it.
Like cults?
No, just occultism in general.
Occultism.
Like occultic practices.
Or, like, anything where, like, people are like, we are the daughters of the witches that you didn't burn, and then their mother's, like, in the other room cooking spaghetti.
Yeah.
She burns herself on the pasta water. Like, oh no, I've been burned. And then she melts.
With stuff like with cults and stuff like that, I think it just comes down to mindset.
Cults are a very specific thing, because cults are often...
they're so broad, but they also feel
When
like
I say
they're hitting all the
occultism-
goals you
Yeah,
want.
but the thing, he's not talking about
When
cults.
I say
That's the
occultism,
thing.
I mean, I don't like cults either. But when I say occultism, I mean, like, you know, the people that are into, like, fucking J.O. crystals, or not even J.O. crystals, but, like, you know, the,
Supernatural phenomena.
Yeah, or
and
like
practices.
Oh yeah, like
Star
witches and
signs
shit.
Just,
and whatnot.
just general
Oh, okay.
practice of this
When
stuff.
he keeps saying
astrology.
when he keeps saying occultist,
Occultism.
I'm not thinking occultist because I know it starts with an O, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like
A
a cult,
Yeah.
like some
You're thinking
no.
like Charles Manson and
like
shit.
KKK type shit.
Nah, he's talking about the broad practice of occultism.
I love that video, by the way,
Which one?
of the girl that's like putting the rigatoni crystals in the guy's room.
Yeah, the guy like the
Your fucking linguini rocks.
yeah.
It's like rigatoni, and it's like, whatever. It's like, but you were liking me and it was working. Yeah, until you did this.
They seemed like a psycho bitch. Listen. I find that shit so hilarious, so much that I want it to happen to me. I wanna.
You want to just, like, get this nice girl and then suddenly she's, like, a fucking loon?
Yes.
No, man, like, there's this one girl at my work, and, like, she's a fairly good-looking girl. Like, she's fairly attractive.
How old?
I'm not going to disclose.
Give
But
me a number.
she's above age, before anyone says. But, like, she was talking about, like, she had a spell book, and she said she was talking to one of her other coworkers who's, like, maybe almost 50, and
Give me her number as well.
they were talking about, like, spells and stuff, and she said, I don't do spells anymore, and she was like, what, why? And she's like, I'm about to get into it, because I used this love potion on a boy, and after I did that, after, like, meeting him just a couple days later, he fell in love with me, and then, like, to the point that I didn't want his attention anymore, and then he went cold on me. And it's like, oh my god, it's almost like you're an attractive person, and you gave him the cold shoulder after he was naturally attracted by you.
Yeah. That's the one thing I
Well,
took out from that story.
Yeah, that's the thing about that general stuff. It's circumstantial
It's
evidence for
so
something you've preconceived.
Broad. And, like,
But listen.
on the other thing, too, like, do the people doing that, regardless of it is real or not, I'm not saying it is real, I'm not saying it isn't either, who cares, I don't think it's real, though, but
it's the
doesn't
power...
it seem dirty, even for the people trying? Like, you're manipulating somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you're at that point, you just don't care. Because, like, your brain is delusional.
I just want pussy. I will use rocks and cantrips to make it happen.
Like, and the thing is, it's funny because with that class, like, I had to make a whole thing about, like, I have to basically do my own tarot reading.
Oh my god.
and I still I still remember it. And I was looking at like the meanings of this stuff. I'm like, this is so broad.
That's it. It's all so broad.
Yeah,
like,
it all is. So
you always
broad.
read the horoscopes and like on like that
That's
brown
where
piece of paper.
That's where cultism and occultism, they blend so well together because it's designed to rope the most people in it can.
Yeah. But those people were like, "Oh, you're a Scorpio. We can't talk. Fuck off."
Yeah,
It is
fuck
meant to rope in people and make them think they are something
it's-
more
it's
than they
either-
are.
It's
It's
meant
either
to rope in people like your.
It's supposed to it's supposed to maximize the chances of finding circumstantial evidence, and where it can't find circumstantial evidence, it's supposed to fabricate its own shit.
Because like they'll make the horoscopes like something so broad that your brain just has to try to make a connection to it.
I akin it to the same thing as the people that like are really, really into like there's some conspiracy theories that do make a lot of sense, but like the ones that are like into the really deep ones like QAnon or Flat Earth or everything, it spanks of the same idea of it's just somebody that is just so out of touch, but they're trying to seem so much more smart than they are.
That honestly, that's a big, like, trying to sound smart or seem like you know things. That's a big motivator.
Exactly.
But also, like, when it gets to the point where, like, Eric said flat earthers, I think I've either said on the podcast or just told you guys about the guy who did the test. Like,
it fails!
Yeah,
every single one!
he had a test that would prove that the Earth is either flat or curved, because he had things spaced out a certain degree, and if he flashed the light on the one end, if the Earth is flat, he'll see it in the camera on the other end.
Yeah.
Like, it'll go all the way through straight. But if the Earth is curved, the light won't go through at all, because like, obviously the Earth is naturally curved.
Yeah, the Earth is curved, so
yes.
it'll be able to curve.
So his buddy, like, he tells him, "Hey, John, flash the light." He doesn't see it.
Yeah.
And the video always cuts off as like, that's it. Because he literally just proved himself wrong.
Because, like, it's just... I'm tired of fighting this battle. I don't want to fight, because for one, like, what are we even going to do with the information that the Earth is flat? Like, if every government official, every, like, scientist came out and said, the Earth is flat, it's like, okay, my life is no different. Other than the fact
For
that...
you, it may be no different, but there is probably someone out there who will literally be crushed by the news.
Well,
you know why that is? Because they can't adapt. But for the other reason, too, it's just, they're so just stuck to their guns that they don't want to let go.
And the thing is, right, like, the thing is, with flat Earth, it hardly matters because it's generally a topic that it might fuck someone up, like, mentally if they truly believe it and it's, like, proof false or whatever. But the thing is, ultimately, it won't have an effect on them, and even if it takes time, they'll realize it. One of the thing that kind of makes me, like, do a double take and be like...
Oh, sorry, I was getting possessed there for a second.
Ooh. The thing that
Y'all
kind of makes...
ever fucked pussy that's been possessed?
No.
It's got demons.
Yeah.
Shaking. It grips like the devil. It's got werblums. It's got perblums.
Werblums?
Man, that bitch will give you herpes, but you'll be begging for it.
When you said problems, I thought you were just saying problems in a weird way.
I thought she was too.
She got that bumpy pussy because the devil got it.
So anyway,
listen, I've said this before, I want one of those, like,
pussy?
one of those crazy witch girls that I want to, like, oh, let me turn my pillow over and I see this fucking, like, hex bag. Because I just think it'd be funny.
I think that'd be fun. If it was just, like, a person has, like, this passing hobby in, like, witchcraft where they're like, oh, I'm going to, like, write sigils on the wall, I'd be like, yeah, cool, man. Like,
because, like, think about it like this. Like,
I'm not sweeping the salt you pour on the ground.
You wake up. Hey, yo, I think I just saw something. But anyways, you wake up.
It's just ghosts. Sorry.
It's probably a spider. Leave it alone.
Listen, you wake up, you're like, oh, let me turn my pillow over to the cold side. But as you do it, you see like, oh, what the fuck's this black bag? And you see like a little sigil on it. So now your brain just starts firing off like, what is this?
What is the bag?
Let me search up on the internet what it is. Then you gotta go through the whole research phase. And you find out, oh, it's since it's black, it has this sigil and what this is inside. It's a love bag.
It's a scavenger hunt.
So your girlfriend comes over and you ask her, well, what the fuck is this? And she tells you, oh, it's a love bag. It's like, aww.
You see, I wouldn't think that would be cute, though.
I would think it'd be funny.
Yeah, like, I think it would be perfectly fine as just, like, a passing thing. It's when they're crazy that it's a problem is. But, like, I don't know. Person's like, I got you a funny rock. I'm like, oh, what's with the rock? Well, it's said to do affection stuff. I'm like, does it work? Maybe.
Take a look. That's another thing. They want you to do some weird stuff with it.
I don't want to do weird
like,
stuff.
Like,
with rocks.
take this rigatoni rock.
Although,
jerk off on this every night.
it'd be like having a crow GF. She brings you shiny rocks all the time. You're like, this is my rock collection. I get it from my GFs. Apparently, they all do magic shit, but I don't think so. I just think they're nice.
You see, that would be different.
Here's the problem. Men are such simple creatures. They would be like that. Like, their girlfriend could be like, oh, take this rock, babe, please. And you're just looking at it like, man, that's a fucking cool-ass rock. I'm going to keep it.
I mean, yeah, cool rocks is cool rocks.
Yeah, cool rocks is cool rock. I do have a rock collection from when I was a kid.
Because, like,
I have, like, a single rock with, like, crystal inside of it.
Like, your brain won't
I'll
be
show
like...
you guys my rock collection after this, if I still have it.
Like, your brain isn't like, the fuck's this girl giving me a rock for? You're just looking at it like, man...
Monkey brain likes rock.
That's a nice shiny ass rock, man.
I like knickknacks and like random bullshit, so I'd be like, yeah, cool rock.
That's a fucking cool ass rock. Thank you, babe. I can't wait to throw it in the water.
You can't throw the rock in the water.
That's the best bit.
I don't fuck.
That's the best bit. You get like a fine crystal, like yeah, and you just
that'd be so funny. It's like, babe, let's go to the water. And she's like, oh, sure, we can, like, realign our chakras by the river, and then you just take the whole rock collection, and you just throw them in the fucking river.
Do you never go to, like, a lakeside or something, you see all those, like,
bro,
big
I don't
rocks?
leave the house.
Like, all those big rocks on the side, you just pick one up, you're like, okay.
I mean, yes, I do, but I don't take the weird rocks and throw them. I take pebbles and stones.
I remember my family was yelling at me because, like, we went to this one beach that's, like, a half hour away, and it's a fairly rocky one, but they have, like, these big rocks, and, like, there's this one, like, stone that's on the beach, and I would take as many big rocks as I could, and, like, because I was bored and I didn't want to be there, I'm not a beach person, I just found as many, like, large rocks as I could. I picked them up and I just broke them against that big rock. And it was just so fun.
Because simple mind, it's amazing.
Simple mind. Like
truly.
rock.
And, like, it was a gunshot going off every fucking 30 seconds because I'd be like, whoosh! Go over, pick up another one, whoosh! This is why I'm the Spider King, and no witch can tempt me.
I can't wait to go home.
You don't want to be in the presence of the Spider King?
I'm going to eat some food. That's all I want right now.
Bro, what if you, like, you're dating some girl, but she just wears a fucking, like, deer skull as just over her head?
I'd
be okay with it.
She's like, the skull stays on.
You see, I would be more okay with that than, like, occultism stuff. It's like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, I would too, because that's
you
cool.
don't understand how the female Forsworn made me hacked up.
And I'm into the Mallovirus SCP. It's not too different. It's the, like, scary dog skull one. A lot of porn of it.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I want to fuck it.
Do you agree with him, Kyle?
Wholeheartedly, yes.
Yeah,
Damn.
don't lie.
Oh, I just wrote something.
Ooh.
You guys read the book, right?
What book?
Sorry, I should have said that first. The Annihilation book.
I'm currently
I have
reading
not
it.
read it.
I thought you read it.
No, he wants me to read it. He's going to make me read it. He's going to tie me to a chair, and I'm going to fucking read it.
You gotta finish Fulgrim first.
Yeah.
But anyways, then Eric might answer my question. I saw a TikTok of like someone talking about Annihilation, or at least the bear from Annihilation.
Aye.
From the bear from the movie, and have you like read about the bear in the book yet?
Not quite. I'm not going to spoil anything either.
I know, but like apparently the bear in the book and the bear in the movie are actually different.
They are quite different. The book and the movie are very different.
Like the bear in the book is actually not truly bear-like. It was more like actually like really skinny and way faster.
Have you seen hairless bears? Or like sun bears?
Yeah,
They're fucking weird.
they're really weird.
But, like, this isn't giving anything away, really, per se, but the supposed bear in the book, the main character is, like, going through recounts of, like, the, all of the recordings and everything from, like, the previous expedition. And when she's going through the swamp area where the supposed, air quotes, bear is, she sees, like, the shedding of skin, much like a snake or a tarantula would shed its molding.
Yeah.
She sees a face come out of the muck, and it's like a shedding of that guy's face. And in that same area, this creature is. And she, after, like, running by it and, like, narrowly escaping it, she says, I don't think death means the same thing in Area X that it does in the outside world.
Yeah, because you don't really die
Mm-hmm.
in Area X.
And all the people that did leave that area, they all came back catatonic with no memory, much like her husband in the movie.
Yeah.
And they would all miraculously die of cancer within a few months of leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Because, like, the whole point of Area X, it's like forcing your body to evolve. But, like, once you're in there for a while, that changed your body so much as soon as you're introduced to, like, the real world, you
It's
get fucked.
very different in the book. The psychologist...
Which one was the psychologist?
The older lady who had
She was the
cancer.
one with cancer in the movie.
Right.
Some shit is different, brother.
Tell me.
He can't because
I can't.
I'm going to have to read it. At some
Yes,
point.
I can't.
You don't know what point in the book it is, so it's alright.
That's not the point.
Okay, I'll say this. They use hypnotism. And I'll just say that. And there's a good reason, not connected to the movie, why it's called Annihilation.
Can I know?
No. Do you... Okay, you can read the book. After Kyle does.
I don't want to read. I just want you to tell me.
Okay, Kyle, fucking... I finish book, you read book fast, and then I'll tell Tyler.
Alright.
Or no, I'll tell Tyler when you aren't around.
Which will be like never. Because Kyle always comes.
Yeah, I have no life. I don't do anything
Kyle,
outside of this.
Kyle always fucks.
Kyle wishes.
Like, I don't actually leave this building. I just go into stasis out the front door. Then, like, the week ticks around, and it's like, okay, time for podcast, and I wake up again.
You know, I almost feel the same.
I feel the same about what?
Like...
Entering stasis throughout the entire
Like
week.
from the end of tonight to the next Saturday.
Not next Saturday, but, like, I feel like I wake up on the weekend. Like, anything that happens during the week is almost, like, non-consequential. And all the good things happen on the weekend.
Hey, possessed!
Girl, you know that pussy worth it.
Yo, that pussy got me possessed. Yo.
Yo, that pussy got me going.
I love that picture of him. It's like, man, goblin pussy got me acting strange.
God, you turning you into a goblin. She's say I'm gonna cast a fireball?
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed off. I understood that. You need a reset.
There's bugs in my eye.
There's a snake in my boob.
There's a snake in my ass.
Spider in my butt.
I thought you were gonna throw that at him, and I thought it was a knife.
No, it's just my phone.
I thought you like grabbed a knife and were like flicking it open, and you were gonna throw it at him and kill him.
I'd throw it at the fox first.
You can't kill me on Canadian soil.
Can't kill me. I'm in the living room.
As long as I breathe in this country, you can't kill me.
Then
I'm
stop
breathing.
breathing.
Have we talked about that? That kind of. I remember we talked about it somewhere. But I'm not sure if it was on the podcast or not. What if we were immortal, but we were locked to a single state, not state, country?
Yeah, we did actually talk about this because it's like if you leave the country, you fucking
You just live normally.
The worst part is I remember what sparked that conversation.
What
Was it
sparked
that
it?
dang pussy?
No. It was a... I'm not gonna say.
I want to know.
now.
I'm not gonna say on the podcast.
But
It's already on the podcast.
It's from my dark past.
There's a lot of things there.
It would involve horses.
The important one.
So it was just a creepypasta image of the one that liked apples from that horse show, and she had an axe embedded in her back or something, but there was the roots of a tree were growing out of her hooves after she got stabbed or something, and she said, "You can't kill an earth pony on equestrian soil."
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But what if you killed them on a plane?
Well, then they would die.
It's fucked up. What if you threw them out of the plane?
What if they were over the soil?
Well, I don't know, and I don't think it matters because they aren't real.
But this is very important. What if you chuck a pony out of a plane?
They die.
Good.
They go splat. Unless they got wings.
That's not a pony.
That's a Pegasus.
Yeah.
Don't half of them got wings?
A third, Tyler, uncultured.
Yeah, it's split into threes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
3?
unless they're...
Yeah, because there's Pegasus, Unicorn, and Pony.
Or alicorns, which are the princesses.
Are
You know what? They have toothpaste for hair and no one cares about them. Except Luna.
Yeah, I was about to swing for a second. I was like, you're forgetting someone.
Whose favorite?
I just imagine that one meme. It's like, aren't you forgetting someone? And it's the three people. I consent, and then it's Luna. It says, I don't.
I don't get it.
Because the original
Because it's about Jesus.
Yeah, the original meme was about consenting and have you ask God or Jesus. And so the man says, I consent, a woman says, I consent, and Jesus says, I don't. And
Because it's against premarital sex.
Yeah.
You can't
And
fuck unless
Jesus
you're
says,
married.
aren't you forgetting to ask somebody?
Fucking
But
Christian
it's okay,
propaganda.
because if Jesus wants to be a voyeur, hey, I'll fuck for Jesus.
Fuck me in the ass because I love Jesus.
Is
Yeah.
Jesus a cuck?
Yes. No. Sorry, Christians. I didn't mean that.
He is a turbo virgin, isn't he?
He fucked Mary Magdalene. Her
Does
head's...
he fuck Mary Magdalene?
I don't know. Her skull's in a...
Is that you the real person, Eric?
Her skull's in a spacesuit.
But I mean, in terms of say you do have premarital sex, it's under the conception that Jesus is watching you.
Actually, it's gay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make him a cuck because he's watching you two fuck?
Well, are you a cuck because
Well-
you watch porn?
Technically, God is a cuck.
Technically?
Wow, fucking cuck!
Well, that defines cuck, though, because, does
Because
God...
there's
God does love all of us. He's watching us fuck our wives.
Damn.
So he is a cuck.
Yeah,
He's literally the Okay,
I guess so.
loose term cuck is like someone who loves to watch two couples fuck when he's right there.
Yeah, he likes to be cuckolded.
But the actual term is like, yes, you watch your wife have sex with another man.
But God isn't married to them, so I get maybe God isn't a cuck.
But he does love the people.
Well,
but not
all
sexually.
right, we have to rephrase it though, because God is not married to us; He is our Father.
But
if your dad was watching
Hey,
you fuck,
oh,
does
It's
that make your dad a
incest.
cuck?
It's
That's some
incest, cuck.
Bucky shit
It's-
right there.
It's emergence.
Oh no.
No,
Wait,
no,
God
no.
is a virgin.
No.
We're living in a Schindel life.
What if God was one of us?
No. That'd be scary.
Just a slob like one of us.
So yeah, that the bottom line is God watches. God is
God watches you.
He's
pee
your
me?
creepy uncle.
God is a girl.
No.
I had a genuine argument about about that in grade 7.
The Christ Sophia. Jordan D.
Yes.
Jordan D's nuts. Ha ha.
Jordan D believes that Hermione is the Christ Sophia.
Who the fuck's Hermione?
I don't want to talk about Harry Potter on this channel anymore.
Oh, Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Emma
Harry
Watson, you know, the one lady that fucks a fucking werewolf.
Yeah, Emma
Yeah.
Watterson, the blue cat.
Yeah, she gets disemboweled by a griffin in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
No, she don't.
Yes, you do.
No, she don't.
don't you remember? It's right after Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah, and Kyle, we
She
watched.
lives in a bathroom.
The Griffins weren't introduced
Fuck
until
off.
like the third or fourth movie. Don't try me.
But yeah, Kyle, we did watch Zootopia,
We did.
and you can confirm. Yeah, there was a violent rape scene in it.
No.
I don't think I can. They were on a train to Busan.
Oh no!
Did you hear about the
Train, yeah.
American live action of it coming out?
Zootopia?
No, of the train to Busan or
Oh
whatever.
Yeah,
fuck
I
off!
have.
Why?
I don't know.
There's already 2 movies in that series.
And you know what? It's gonna be played by Mario. Chris Pratt.
No.
Why are they doing Train to Busan?
I don't know.
That movie was already good in.
What if they just made an American version called Plane 2, There's Snakes on it?
What if the Koreans did Snakes on a Plane?
I would
They probably
watch it.
have.
Are you tired of these
I don't-
motherfucking snakes?
But do you know why Snakes on a Plane happened?
Because there were snakes on that plane.
You're
know
so fucking right, dude.
You know why the snakes are there?
Because they got out.
Put them on there.
Kinda right.
I can't believe it.
But apparently the guy, the main character, not Samuel L. Jackson's character, but another one, was in leagues with the Triad, doing their accounting bullshit.
He is.
But he wanted to leave, so the Triads put snakes on the plane.
Wow.
Wow. I
I
can't
can't-
believe it.
I'm just dumbfounded.
I was too.
It was a crime thriller
There's-
all along.
There's snakes
What?
on the plane.
What fucking triad says we gotta whack a guy?
We need
put
to
snakes
assassinate
on it?
someone.
That's like imagine
Let's
you're
just
sitting there.
fill the plane with snakes.
Imagine you're sitting there in fucking New York or whatever. You're sitting there in fucking Brooklyn or some shit.
Pass me the ginger ale.
We're going to nuke this
There is
city because
no
there might be
ginger
somebody in there we
ale.
want to kill.
You don't want to open it anymore.
Yeah, I do.
Don't open it near me. But
Not
imagine.
yet.
No!
Wait.
Imagine you're in fucking New York, and there's some Italian mobster guys that come up with a suit and a case, and
Just one suit.
they just walk up to you on your lawn, and they say, "Hey, you Tommy," and you turn around yeah, Mr. Falcone says I, and they open a briefcase and shove a snake at you.
They open a briefcase and they have a claymore in it.
they just pull out a jar full of bees and throw it at you.
Mr. Falcone sends his regards, and they just hand you the fucking Rainbow Dash cum jar.
Mr. Falcone
It's already
is
filled.
a fan. It's your turn to fill the jar, Mr. Tommy.
Mr. Wiseau.
Mr. Wiseau.
What time are we at?
We're
got a song.
at time to fucking end ourselves. Yeah, it's time to stop.
What
Well,
time
where we
is
at?
it?
Well, for 1:45.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
that's pretty good.
That went by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's because you're fucked up. But what's the song? Birds and snakes and aeroplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Down your
We already
neck.
did that one.
We did?
Yeah.
We did do that one?
Yeah.
Fuck! We
Yeah.
can't do that one again. We gotta do a different one.
I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. Cinnamon and sugary and softly spoken lies. You never know just how you look through other people's eyes.
Shoots yourself